Welcome back to Rev It Up Bowling. My name is Jason Robarge, and today we got a simple practice session. What I'll be working on today are some of the information I learned from last weekend. We did a Bowl U class put on by Brad Angelo. Highly recommend the class. Now, I'm not gonna get into exactly what I learned. If you guys wanna get in-depth knowledge from Bowl U's theories, really look them up and take their courses. 100% worth the money. They focus a lot more on ball motion than like your physical game, for example. How the balls go through the pins, deflection, also the mindset behind you as a bowler, what you need to be thinking about, and again, what you don't need to be thinking about. What I'm gonna be working on is a very small portion of that, and that's gonna be like physical manipulation. What I'll be doing is I have an alignment of bowling balls here. I have some of my slowest equipment, Crusher, Rattler new, and some of my quicker equipment as far as how it transitions, Scorpion Strike and the Deviate Mantra. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep myself probably around when I stand up here, probably about 18 or so. I'm gonna be making no lateral movements, and what I'm gonna be doing is testing my ranges to manipulate ball motion. Bowl U taught us that there's 6 components to physical manipulation: speed, rev rate, axis rotation, launch angle, grip tension, and loft. I'm gonna be using those 6 criteria in order to not move my feet laterally. I know how to do that. I know how to get left. My problem is proper breakdown and being able to create good ball motion off of it without having to push myself in front of a ball return by game 4, 5, 6, whatever the case may be of a tournament. I need to learn the lane more front to back and use my physical characteristics to alter that ball motion. What I'm gonna be practicing and focusing on is where do I feel like I lack in those areas? Do I struggle keeping my speed up and throwing a good shot? Do I struggle keeping it low? Increasing rev rate, lowering rev rate, axis rotations. I wanna put myself under a pressure situation as much as possible in practice in order to show some of my weaknesses. Without further ado, get into the Crusher. To make this practice a little bit more challenging, what I'm gonna do is I'm giving myself 2 to 3 shots to make the adjustments to get lined up. I want to try to make these adjustments quick because in tournaments, we need to make them extremely quick. I'm gonna throw my first shot, get an idea on how it reads the lane, and figure out what physical attribute I need to manipulate in order to create proper ball motion. Like I said, I'm gonna stand on 18, slide 25-ish or so, see what this ball does. Everything here is kind of default me. It never got right, to be honest. I wouldn't say it was probably my best shot in the world, but I still read some ball motion. What I saw was a very slow responding bowling ball. Now what I'm gonna do is change one attribute. I wanna change my launch angle. Try to get it right a little bit more to give it some more room. Everything's still default except that launch angle. Perfect. That was great. That ball saw friction about 28 to 30 feet, somewhere in that neighborhood, and it just never was able to hold the pocket and it hooked too much. Now, me in the past would 100% go, that's hooking too early, I'm gonna move left into more oil, or I'm gonna ball change that gets through the friction a little bit easier. But today's challenge is to manipulate myself. I saw that it read early, I saw that the ball was not transitioned, or in Bowl U they call it precession. It was not change this angle enough from the time I let it go to the time it saw friction. What I'm gonna do on this shot, I'm gonna increase speed and I'm gonna reduce axis rotation. By doing that, I'm hoping to blend the lane out a little bit more, get a little bit further down lane, but also with that axis rotation, not have it overhook. Let's try that. A little higher speed, a little bit less axis rotation. Better. I will say I probably messed up on that a little bit. I lowered rev rate on accident. I threw a little harder and just missed it. We're gonna do the same thing. As you can see with that shot, down lane, it was a 10 board difference at least. I mean, I went runaway Brooklyn to a bucket. I know I'm headed in the right direction. Let's go ahead and try that again. On this one, higher speed, less rotation. Try to keep that rev rate consistent though. That was better. Now I'm out of my 3-shot window. I did not succeed on this one. However, better ball motion. It didn't check and didn't go on me. That one was further in than my other shots for sure. I'm going to keep everything consistent and just open my launch angles up just a teensy bit. Much better, much better. If you can manipulate your physical attributes more, you don't have to rely so much on bowling balls, drillings, just because you're gonna have a more variety of a range. So now I'm in the pocket, I left the 4-pin, no big deal. I'm gonna increase speed just a teensy bit more and see if I can strike. And if I don't strike, this is the purpose of this exercise, to show where I'm lacking, to show where I need a more consistency. Very nice. We found the pocket. That took me 5 shots to find the pocket and strike. A little slow in my opinion. I need to do a little quicker. However, that's good, right? I'm glad I'm not perfect right now, because that's why we keep bowling, why we keep getting better, is to find these flaws. Nice. As you can see on that one, probably had the most launch angle of the shots at the pocket. The 4-pin, that last strike, and then that one. That gives me room. I'm seeing friction enough. My ball is not rotated that when it sees friction, it just goes left, and it's fast enough to blend the friction front to back. We're gonna go to our next slowest bowling ball. The idea is to go through response time in your bag. We're gonna go to the Rattler New. Now the Rattler New has probably been in my top 3 as far as ball releases go. The Mantra is definitely up there. It's probably number 1 or number 2. But as far as a smooth, predictable bowling ball, for a higher rev rate player like myself, it works really well. However, since I've learned these attributes a little bit more, to think about adjusting speed, to think about adjusting axis rotation, has created this ball to be a wider range. I can manipulate these balls more. I don't have to ball change all the time, or I don't have to move laterally. I can stay in the same place, know where the friction is, because once you move left or right, you're moving into a different area of the lane, a different zone. Yeah, this ball is a lot more versatile now that I know these attributes. Rattler New. I'm gonna throw everything consistent to that last shot in order to read the ball motion. Higher ball speed, lower axis rotation, and a little bit of launch angle. Nice. That ball checked early, right? That is a little bit quicker responding than my crusher, which made perfect sense why it did check. We know that there's friction 30 feet, just like we saw with the crusher off my natural hand release. The first thing I'm going to do, increase ball speed. I probably suggest maybe doing 1 or 2 at a time to adjustments, just so you know what works, just to learn. I think this is my 3rd practice session on doing this stuff. Nice, I found the pocket. Now, wrap a 10. Good ball motion, wrong entry angle, wrong spot on the head pin to hit to strike. I need to be a little bit higher into the pocket. I'm actually going to dial it back down just a teensy bit, just to find more of that face of that head pin, because I am playing quite a shallow angle into the pocket. I need to use a little bit more head pin. Something to the right. Trip 2-pin. That was nice. That wasn't bad. That gave me some room. I wouldn't say it was my best shot, but we're gonna go ahead and try to throw another one. I think one thing I'm gonna do too, now I'm thinking about it, is I'm gonna add just a little rotation, just a teensy bit, to get it going a little bit steeper into that pocket. Nice. Hell yeah. Took me 3 shots. Now, with the crusher, I will say, like, I didn't know what I was bowling on. Probably took me an extra frame or 2 to figure that out, but not a big deal. Still learning. Little flat 10. So let's go ahead and add a little bit more rotation. I want to say add rotation, just make sure I don't throw it flat. Nice, nice. I haven't moved my feet yet. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to my next quickest ball. That's gonna be the Scorpion Strike. These balls are completely different. You got a not urethane, crusher, solid, Scorpion Strike, pearl, Mantra, hybrid. I'm all trying to throw these balls in the exact same part of the lane in order to work on that manipulation. Everything will be consistent to the Rattler, higher ball speed, a little bit of rotation, and just a teensy bit on the launch angle. Nice. I saw that ball transition a little quicker than the Rattler New. Again, they call it procession in bowling. Again, take their course. You can listen to me, but listen to them for sure. It checked a little bit too much off the fresh. I'm gonna reduce my axis rotation. If that doesn't work, I think it might be time to reduce rev rate a little bit. Beautiful. I found the pocket. It seemed like less rotation, same speed, did the trick. Again, You are looking for where you fail in practice. Where do I struggle with? That way in a tournament, I don't struggle with it. I love struggling in practice. It means I gotta work on stuff. Nice. Let's see if we can do it 3 times in a row. I'd love to see that. Oh, sent it right. That's okay. A little bit too much launch angle. We kind of figured out what the scorpion strike does. Definitely quicker responding. Had to still keep the speed up. It's torched, and I'm trying to play right at 4th arrow on something that's been bowled on 12 hours ago, 25 games lineage. Let's go to the quickest ball that I brought out here. Not my quickest ball in my bag, but the quickest. No rotation, well, very little rotation, I should say. Higher ball speed. Almost rolled the 2-pin. I'm gonna just lower the speed just a teensy bit. Perfect. All right, I did what I expected. This is a time where I threw it the first shot. It didn't read enough. It kind of got too far down lane and it just never saw the friction. Then when you slow it down a little bit, it sees all that friction too quickly and checks. What do I change? I'm gonna reduce rev rate. That definitely was what I was looking for. When we create ball motion, the idea is to have the ball, when it does enter the pocket, to its rotation to roughly match the entry angle of the ball. Before, it just didn't see the lane, it missed head pin. Then it duck hook because it saw the lane too early and had too much rotation at the time it saw friction and went left. Reducing rev rate, it's gonna be less susceptible to that friction. Oh, I sent it right. And it came back. No, I too much launch angle, but I have good ball motion that it gave me some room. Again, as you can see, I haven't moved my feet. If I can bowl a league and not have to move my feet, it keeps a lot of things a little bit more simple. What we saw today, the Rattler knew, the scorpion strike, and now the mantra. I did not move my feet at all, and I was able to string a few with each after, 1 or 2, 3 shots to figure it out. What we want to be good at is how quickly we can visually understand what happened to the ball. Why did it hook, right? Why did it duck hook in the mid lane? Why didn't it see friction? Is that my speed? Is that my rev rate? Is my axis rotation? Since I took that class, and a lot of people that took that class are the same way, we've probably been bowling more than we ever have been. We're watching ball motion. We're seeing Ace throw my brother throw the ball. And we can actually now understand the theory behind it, why a ball makes a specific shape. I'm gonna give myself a teensy challenge. I'm gonna take each of these bowling balls. In my mind, I should have retained how I threw that ball in order to strike. Now, with that said, since I threw the crusher, I've probably thrown a game and a half. Added friction, added lineage, depletion, carry down, etc. I'm gonna give myself 2 shots. I need to strike on both shots, or if I don't strike on the first shot, I need to be quick on reading what happened and being able to adjust to it. When I was thrown here before, I needed higher ball speed, less rotation, and a little bit of launch angle. So let's go ahead and do that. I saw that hook in the mid lane. Sharp off the spot, I need a little bit smoother shape. I'm going to reduce axis rotation, and I'm probably gonna reduce rev rate a little bit. Perfect, Rattler knew. I'm going to assume there's been some depletion of oil. I'm going to keep my ball speed maybe a teensy bit higher than I had. A little bit of rotation, a little bit less rev rate. I was able to understand what I did. Now, obviously, I just did this 20 minutes ago. If you're in a tournament, you haven't bowled, or you're bowling on fresh again, right? It's a very long time between that. Maybe write it down, get an idea on what that ball motion did when it was working. So I threw one, struck. Now let's see if we can repeat. I'll take it all day, take it all day. Let's go to the scorpion sting. I know, quicker responding. I know I had to have a higher ball speed with this compared to the Rattler. What I'm gonna do on this one, reduce rotation, reduce hand, and keep the ball speed up. Good, I fouled like every shot, but still. There's definitely some deflection from the bowling ball. I didn't like necessarily how it went through the pins. In order to get a little bit higher entry angle, reduce where it's going through the pins, I need to do two things that make that shot work. I need to be a little bit higher onto the head pin with a lower entry angle, or I can keep my same spot in the pocket on the head pin and increase my entry angle. I'm gonna try to go with shallower entry angle with more of the head pin, just because that seems like a better shape in my brain. Nope. Oh, it was close though. I hit on a little bit, but that's okay. I would say that was good, not too bad. I left makeables, I struck, we're good. Let's go to the mantra. I know this ball's quicker responding, no, it's a stronger ball. We're gonna keep everything consistent to the Scorpion. Maybe a reduction of rev rate, higher ball speed, a little bit of launch angle. Not bad, I threw it too far right, that was a lot of launch angle, but struck, I have room. Hell yeah. As you can tell, these are completely 4 different bowling balls. 4 different drillings. You as a bowler can make bowling balls much more versatile if you can master these 6 kind of characteristics I mentioned. And you can tell I've completely changed my ball motion. And I've only used a change in axis rotation, rev rate, speed, and launch angle. It's the only 4 things I've changed. I haven't done loft, I haven't done grip tension. Nice. All right, I'd say that was a W. If you got anything from this today, the importance of understanding visually what ball motion is as an umbrella concept, but also understanding that you as a bowler can manipulate a ball more than a drilling, more than a different bowling ball. Definitely work on these skills, manipulating ball speed, manipulating rev rate, hand position, all that stuff, in order to create the shapes you want. It will help you a ton. Now, I did want to say thank you very much to Brad Angelo and the whole Bowl U staff for coming down, or well, coming up to Alaska, putting on this clinic. It was an immensely informative. It helped me see the lane in a different light. And I know for me, my biggest struggle is getting left too quick. Now, I've made a lot of money doing it. Don't get me wrong, I made a lot of money. It's worked quite well in Alaska. However, to better myself as a bowler, to get better, that's why I still bowl. It's because I know I need to get better. If I was really, really good, I wouldn't have any enjoyment out of it. I can't teach. Well, I guess I could teach, but I can't learn, right? I can't teach others what I'm learning, and that's what I want to do here. This is more of a bring you along for the ride while I try to work on my skills, while I hone those skills and try to master this sport. Please look up Bowl U, get their information, reach out to them about a clinic and see where they are. They travel around the country and see if they're in your local area. With that said, my name is Jason Robarge. We're Rev It Up Bowling. Much love, peace.